I am Lourdes. I come from Cadiz in Andalusia. I can't see the slides, says Lourdes. I wanted to speak about our activism. I didn't even know that my involvement in this fair cause was activism. Unfortunately, our society believes that people using cannabis are negative people. They have a negative image because they supposedly have negative impacts on our society. I was born an activist, and thank God I did. Activism and activists are people that make the voices of everyone heard. We became valid interlocutors at all the levels for the administration, the institutions, the organizations, and society as a whole. We want to ensure unity and connections between all the parts of society. We want to help the realities of all the users, and we want to also change the view of cannabis in society. We want a real regulation and normalization of cannabis based on the rights of all the users, with policies that will be drafted in a participative way and including the different stakeholders. We need to take into account all the agents included or that work on that. As my colleague Manuel said, Circulo is a good solution. It is an answer because it helps us organize ourselves and put forward proposals, legal proposals to normalize and legalize cannabis. We want to change current policies on the growing, the production and the use of cannabis and its derivatives in order to better understand the different aspects of cannabis and foster the therapeutical use. Well, somebody already talked about the negative impacts of the war on drugs, so I'm not going to speak too much about that, but there was a real war against cannabis that was declared, and the negative aspects are clear because there are victims, people that cannot be cured, and so it increased black market trafficking, and it also had an impact on public finances because there are huge budgets used to fight against black market trafficking, and this money could be used elsewhere. Circulo is a state organization. It is an organization from civil society, and we are supported by Podemos. We want to improve the social fabric of Spain in a very democratic way. And we want to include all stakeholders and listen to the voices of all the citizens in order to make a decision. I'm going to speak about endometriosis and cannabis. I use cannabis for a therapeutical relief because I suffer from endometriosis. But it is a disease that is not often spoken about. It is a silenced disease. It is something that is invisible, but more than 15 million women in the world suffer from that. And it has a real impact on our quality of life. But we don't talk about that. And those who've tried cannabis as a therapeutical drug can confirm the positive aspects. I used to have lots of problems because I was in a lot of pain. There was inflammation in my body, and cannabis helped me. And cannabis is also good to help cancer patients, to help relieve their pain. Many scientific proof show that the therapeutical uses of the cannabis plant can improve the quality of life of the patients. However, it is crucial to organize further clinical tests in order to further prove the positive incidence and impacts of the plant. And I think that we should talk more about certain diseases like endometriosis. And now we are going to speak about the profile of what a user of cannabis would be. But I think that we all know what a user is, be it a therapeutical user or a recreational user. We are people with the same rights and the same needs as any other people in the world, maybe even more needs, but we don't have much time, so I'm not going to dwell too much upon that. So I wanted to thank all the participants for your presence here, to help us work together on this important topic. Thank you very much.